mint. I forget the name of this bush. In another day, the whole thing's going to be white. Love it. Love it. Tulips are just about gone. Rose bush. A few rosebuds. It's nice. Tulips lasted a couple weeks. Thyme, God, has been here at least 10 years. Survives every winter. Rosemary survives every winter. I will plant basil, sage, tarragon, and some other goodies in here in the next week or so. Starting the coffee with brand new chopsticks using the Vortex method, the only true way of optimizing the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, Ethiopian coffee made in a French press. I think this is my last bunch that I have. I have to get some more today, and I think I'm going to get some Guatemalan as well. Very floral. Ethiopian, earthy, Guatemalan floral. Boom. Perfect. Nice. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. You accept bribes to let the guilty go free and condemn the innocent. Isaiah 5. Isaiah laying down some heavy truths, huh? Michael Vick, the dog killer, gets more press and hate than Dr. Kermit Gosnell, baby killer. Interesting, right? Too bad a woman's pregnant stomach doesn't have a coexist bumper sticker on it. Maybe a child would get saved if that ever happened. Shake for me, girl. I want to be your backdoor man. Led Zeppelin, 1969. Why do you want her back, dude? Why? Do you know where that mouth has been since she left you? Let's get real, okay? You know I do not lie. I tell the truth here on the Daybreak Show. The Sultan does not lie. After a relationship ends, many people try to get the other person back, don't they? What you need to get back is you. You need to get you back. You lost you in that relationship. So that's part of your grief. You're grieving you that you lost, the part of you that disappeared in that marriage or that relationship. You just don't realize that you're grieving the loss of you. Something I like dealing with people, helping them get unstuck. 2020, we're going to be in another month or so approaching the halfway point. Are you unstuck? I haven't banged that drum in a while. 2020 is the year you get unstuck, isn't it? Even though you are quarantined and lockdown, it's the year that you get unstuck. What a great opportunity. I once dated a gal whose parents didn't flush the toilet till the end of the day in order to save water. True story. Literally, there was anywhere between 10 to 20 shits and pisses in that toilet till about 9 o'clock at night. Then the father flushed it before he went to bed. I remember once I took a whiz in that toilet and I flushed it. When I came out of the bathroom, everyone was looking at me like I committed a crime. Dead serious. You know, when you see a toilet that full, this sounds really gross. You see a toilet that full, you know, when you flush that bad boy, you're not sure that everything's going to go down. So I'm looking at a plunger in the corner and I'm thinking, what if I flush it and that stuff doesn't go down? And then it starts to overflow and I'm putting the plunger on it. That would be so gross. This family also had a shag carpet, wall to wall, not just a throw rug, a shag carpet in that bathroom. Someone asked, what was the woman like? She was nothing like the family. Nothing. Very cool chick. Kind of a backwards, old-fashioned, I shouldn't say backwards, because that's insulting them. An old-fashioned family. Yeah. I don't want to insult people. This is not the channel. There's plenty of other channels where you can go and watch them insult people. But this is just not one of them. And I almost did it right there. I caught myself before I put these people down. Good-hearted people. Again, John Spickhorn Meyer lived from 1870 to 1959, also known as the Bear Man of Michigan. Eccentric naturalist, farmer, politician, coal miner, tile manufacturer, furniture builder, inventor, lumberjack, and above all, an individualist. Here's some pictures of John Spickhorn Meyer. You know, I mention people sometimes because I like it when people kind of outlive their existence on this earth. Think about it. I've told you the story that I used to think about my grandfather every day. Every day. Just something about him. Thought just his tools, the words he said, images of him, his garden, stuff like that. And then it was like once a week. Then maybe twice a month. And I'm a pretty sentimental person, which could be one of my faults. I used to be a very emotional person before I was a more stoic individual, but I will tell you this, that within 2 generations, there's nothing left of you. Nothing. Your kids remember you, but what happens when your kids are 75 and 80 years old? Will your grandkids remember you like I remember my grandfather? When I'm gone, my kids, when someone says, well, what was your great-grandfather like? My kids will be like, I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? I was raised with a great-grandfather. That's trippy. My grandmother's father was living when I was a young man. I'd go to see my grandparents, and I would also go to see my great-grandfather and hang out with him. I used to go to the boys club, skip out from the boys club, walk a few blocks and go see my great-grandfather. He had a great garden. I'd pick red raspberries. I'd pump water from his well and drink it out of a mason jar that he had upside down on top of the well. God knows how many people drank from that mason jar, and I still live to tell about it today. I'd sit down in the kitchen. He'd cut up some pieces of meat and cheese. He'd pour a juice glass of wine, that much, and then put the rest ginger ale. When we were kids, you give a kid alcohol today, you're going to jail. My grandfather gave us wine since I was a child, a toddler. And to this day, the drink of red wine with ginger ale brings me right back to the early 70s, right back to the early 70s and late 60s, when I remember drinking wine and ginger ale in a little juice glass, sitting at his kitchen table. I can still picture the TV, big old console TV with a gondola on top of it. Interesting, right? Here's John Spickhorn Meyer, died in 1959, and we still know about him because he did cool things with his life. Let me tell you again what he was. An eccentric naturalist, a farmer, a politician, a coal miner, a tile manufacturer, a furniture builder, an inventor, a lumberjack, and above all, an individualist, John Spickhorn Meyer. Pretty trippy. I am really surprised how many men are made aware of the options available to them. This option or this option. Some people would say the red pill or the blue pill. Okay? I won't even put pills into this because that just causes more division and douchebaggery. You have this option, you have this option. You have an option to be awake and better yourself, or you can have this option of going back to sleep. Nothing changes. Nothing changes in your life. Life pretty much ends, And they end up believing some weird fantasy that that's what life as a man should be. I won't ridicule them, I just will feel sorry for them. How many people do you know that just gave up on life? Just said, I'll just stay at the same job. They had an opportunity. I'll just stay with the same old gnarly woman. I'll just apply for disability and get my $2,800 a month. Don't have to work. How can you live like that, man? How can you live like that? Whew. I'll just stay here in my gnarly old house in my gnarly old neighborhood. Nothing will change. Wow. Kids just moved out. Last of the kids graduated from college. I go to work every day. She goes to work every day. We stare at each other silently at dinner time. Oof. I'll get fat. She'll get fat. What's going on, man? What's going on? Do you deserve better than that? Maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe you're just a punk. Maybe you're just a worker bee that will never amount to anything in your life. I don't know. Hopefully this lights a fire under someone's ass on this Friday morning. Trapped in your little box of what life is and what a man should be. You can be unrecognizable this time next year. Your body, your life, your income, the people who you mix with. But you choose to stay in your little box like a little golem. You see what I just did? My body even just kind of compacted into my little beliefs, my little belief system. Get out of it. Out of it. Shed your skin. Break out of the shell. What the hell's the matter with you? A pipe, a book, a cozy nook, a firelight, at least its embers, a dog, a glass, 'tis thus we pass, such hours as one remembers. That's where I got the phrase cozy nook from. It's from Muncie Magazine. Thomas Hall wrote that in 1892. This little area that I call a cozy nook, that's where I got it from that poem. I've been really trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby, then come on. Oh, come on. Let's get it on. Oh, baby, let's get it on. Let's love, baby. Let's get it on, sugar. Let's get it on. Marvin Gaye, 1973. Possibly the musical composition of that song is one of the greatest songs in soul music. You don't hear the word soul music much anymore, do you? You might hear funk, but you don't hear soul. You know, I had a radio show in the 70s called the Midnight Soul Patrol. Yes, Midnight Soul Patrol. And all I played was soul music. Back then, people would call it black music. Now it's what, R&B? They call it R&B. What's popular now? R&B, hip-hop, rap. Back then, it was called black music or soul music. And part of that was funk. But just think about the song Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. All right, you know the first few notes, you know, 4 notes define that song. And then he just cries that first sentence out, the first line. It's iconic. Nothing has even come close to touching that song. Every guy would put that song on, or hope, crossed his fingers that you went parking with your girl and you put on the radio and you hoped that song would come on. 1973. Now this was years before sexual healing. You got to remember that. This was the original parking song. Good stuff. Look it up. Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye. I've always been an airgun fan. I was raised with a great CO2 pistol that my father had, with the little cartridges that you put in and screw in. And I know today's air guns are absolutely next level. Just incredible. Accurate. Powerful. What do you like? Do you like the pump, CO2, a spring, pistol, rifle, sighted, target shooter, small game hunter? I'd like to see what you like. Put your answer down below. What are your experiences with air guns, pistols, and rifles? Yeah. But then they send me away to teach me how to be sensible, logical, responsible, practical. And they showed me a world where I could be so dependable, clinical, intellectual, cynical. Supertramp, 1978. Holy crap, dude, how'd you get that black eye? I called her a two-bit whore. Whoa, what did she hit you with? A sack of quarters. Some of you will get that. Are you agitated yet? Are you? Or are you overwhelmed with gratitude that your government cares so much about you to impose restrictions, desperate measures, shortages, and all for your good? Just know that there's a class of people that are not doing any of this. Nothing. Let me see what this is. Do I have a this with me here? I had a this, but it's not here. It was here. But let's just, when I talk about this, this, there's a class of people who aren't doing that. And they've actually benefited from all of this. Once you realize that, your attitude changes. And with that, finish your coffee. And I'll see you Monday morning on the Daybreak Show, the home of sanity, clarity, and reason. And look for some of my specials over the weekend. Some great interviews coming that will blow your mind. I love you, man. I do. See you Monday morning.